All right, that was our puff pastry rolled out. I'm coming in with my little cookie scoop and going in with our chocolate frosting for this delicious and easy Easter treat. I'm just gonna go in and we're gonna start to place some of that frosting right on top of our puff pastry, just like so. I'm using a chocolate frosting. You could honestly do any kind of frosting for this, but I'm just gonna go, we only want a really thin layer, so we're just gonna go right into our puff pastry, just like so. Oh, I'm using the keto one. This was actually on, wow, this was actually on sale. You know, with prices of groceries going up, I love a good sale. So we are here for the sale items. Obviously, you can just do your regular one, or you can even make your own frosting. But that looks good. All right, I'm gonna come in with my little tool here, and what we're gonna do is just kind of flatten that out and ever so gently spread this onto our puff pastry. We want a super, super thin layer of that. So we'll go ahead and get this nice and spread out. I'm using the keto chocolate frosting. You could do a Nutella here. You could do a peanut butter. We're gonna go ahead and get this nice and spread out before moving on. All right, we have a nice thin layer of our chocolate frosting onto our puff pastry. I'm actually gonna be coming in with another one of those puff pastries, and I'm just gonna roll this out right on top. All right, we're just gonna start to slowly unroll and top our chocolate frosting and our puff pastry so that they line up just like so. Make sure you don't keep the paper, and then we'll just gently pull back. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. All right, I'm gonna come in with my pizza cutter, and what I'm gonna do is we're just gonna cut some strips right down. That one might be a little big, so we'll cut that in half. But I'm just gonna start to cut those strips, and this is where the filling is important. You don't wanna overstuff those, because then you'll see that they kind of start to ooze out. But I'm just using a pizza cutter, and we're cutting those strips straight across, just like so. I love making this super easy and tasty little treat. So I'm just going in and cutting all of our puff pastries, just like so. Perfect. All right, what we're gonna do now that these are cut, I'm just gonna take that strip, and we are just going to twirl that strip just like so to a couple times so that we get that fun little pattern. And then I'm gonna come over here to our baking sheet. I did grease my baking sheet, and you are just gonna start to twirl and kind of just create a little circle just like that on our baking sheet. I did grease our baking sheet, and we are just going to do the same thing with the remainder of our strips. Again, we're just kind of twirling. Probably should grease my hands, but that's all right. Twirling, twirling, twirling. And then we're gonna go to our baking sheet and create a circle around that twirl. Perfect, so we'll get these all nice and twirled up. All right, now that we have these nice and twirled up, I'm gonna actually be coming in with my vitamin D milk. I also have just a small little bowl and a paintbrush. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with some of that milk into our bowl. We've got like a 1/4 cup, nothing too crazy. I'm just using a vitamin D milk, and what we're gonna do is just brush those pastries with that vitamin D milk. You could also do an egg wash here, you could also do a butter wash, but with the price of eggs, I think a milk wash is perfectly appropriate for this easy little Easter treat. And I'm just kind of dredging that puff pastry just like so. This is gonna be a super great little treat you can make with the kiddos for Easter. I think everyone will really enjoy how simple and delicious this is. I think that looks perfect. In addition to our milk, I'm also just gonna come in, I have some granulated sugar, and we're just gonna go right on in. Ooh, I love this little milk carton sugar. I'm gonna get a little handful, just go right on top, ever so gently, of our little milk washed pastries. You could even do a salt here if you kind of wanted to do more of a salty sweet one, but I just want to stick with the sweet. So just go right on top with a little bit of that sugar. You can even do like a cinnamon sugar, a brown sugar, whatever your heart desires. That is looking beautiful. We are ready to pop these into the oven. Maybe like 20 minutes at 350. Oh my goodness. These are so cute. They turned out so perfect. I did let them cool down, but they are nice and cooked, and you can see all of our chocolate frosting, but we are not done yet. Speaking of chocolate frosting, I have just the remainder from our little frosting into a piping bag, and I have this fun little tip. And what we're gonna do, just to make sure that we're twirling, and we're gonna pipe a little chocolate center, just like so, right in the center of our little puff pastry nests. What I'm gonna do, just keep twisting. I'm just kind of creating a small little center, just like so. Oh, my mouth is absolutely watering. This smells so amazing. You can do any kind of frosting you want, but you'll kind of see why we're gonna stick with our chocolate, and I kind of had this little center in there. This is, like I said, a perfect little chocolate lovers Easter treat. I'm so excited for Easter, and this is one of my favorite things to make. And we cannot have Easter without our Royal Dark Cadbury mini eggs. So I'm gonna go in with a handful of those eggs. Let's make sure we try and get a red one. Wow! And what we're gonna do, now that we have those eggs, is just pop them right into our little Easter nest. Just like so. I like to mix up the different colors, and we're just popping them in. That frosting is gonna hold them right in place for these delicious little Easter nests. I mean, look at how darling these are. So we'll go ahead and just kind of stick them right there. I went with the dark chocolate. You could do the milk chocolate. I also saw that they were selling like rainbow versions of these as well, which I haven't tried, but I believe they're a milk chocolate. But I am a dark chocolate girly, so I love the dark chocolate. Cadbury eggs are actually one of my favorite Easter candies too. But look at how fun that is. Kind of just mix up the colors too, so you don't get all the same ones. Oh, perfect. All right, that is looking darling. All right, now I have, of course, our little bunny plate. I'm thinking like this one looks really tasty. Oh, I mean, so darling and so cute. I'm excited. Crispy, chocolatey. You gotta try it.